side, so if you have a question, just please raise your hand, we'll get the mic to you. And affiliation, we'll go on. So we'll start with the visitors. Coach Franklin, would you like to kick it off?
Yeah, we'd just like to start by thanking Lockheed Martin and the Armed Forces Bowl, Brant, and all of his team for making our team feel so welcome. The bowl game is about the people, and the people of Fort Worth. Miss Maddie Parker, the mayor, and all the city of Fort Worth have been extremely accommodating to our football team, to our families, to our coaching staff, to our players, and we've really had a tremendous time. We're very excited about the opportunity to play a really good football team. Coach Munkin has done an outstanding job with West Point. Their players play a great style of football, and we're really honored to have the opportunity to step on the field with them. Games are defined by the worthiness of the opponent, and I can't think of a more worthy opponent to play against than the United States Army and the cadets at West Point. We tip our hat to you and thank you for your service, and are excited about the opportunity to compete against you tomorrow night. Our football team has worked really hard to get the opportunity to play in a bowl game, and I know specifically for Michael Mayetti, who has played in 56 career starts, this is the first opportunity he's had in a bowl experience, and so we're extremely proud as our team to be able to realize that goal and get to this game, and it's been a great experience so far. Certainly we've had a lot of challenges and injuries throughout the year, and we released a injury report yesterday. Martez Manuel was hurt during bowl prep, and that injury is going to prevent him from being able to compete in this game, but he will recover. It was a non-surgically required injury. He's just got a high ankle sprain and just didn't recover in time. Tyler Bray has had an outstanding season for us. He has given everything he has got from the zoo. He's had over 1,600 yards rushing, set the single season career rushing record for the University of Missouri. He's had over 300 and something yards receiving. He was named to both the unanimous Players and Associated Press All-SEC teams, multiple All-American teams, Scholar Athlete of the Year. He's a tremendous competitor. He had 5 200-yard rushing games, and just when the game was on the line, you knew he was going to be able to give his best for us. After much reflection and deliberation, his heart wants to play in this game, but as coaches, at some point, we got to step back and protect our players for their future. And so it's been my decision that we will not play Tyler Bray in this football game. I know that if we asked him to play, he would play, and he would take every rep, just like he did against Arkansas with over 40 carries. But I cannot do that to that young man, and as a program, we're not going to do that. We thank him for all that he's done. He's been a tremendous leader and captain for our football team, and will continue to do that for us tomorrow. He will just be serving our football team in a different way. And so we're excited about the other guys' opportunities to play. But again, sometimes as a coach, you have to make decisions that are in the best interest of the young man and not necessarily in the best interest of yourself. And that's what we're going to do here. And so after talking to his parents and him, we told him of our decision, and I think he respects it. I know he respects it, and I know he knows we care about him, and we're excited for his future in the NFL. So with that, again, we're very excited to play West Point, and I'll turn it over to Coach Moore.
Emily Larger with the Columbia Missourian. Eli, when did that conversation with Tyler Bray happen, and then kind of a little bit more, what was his reaction to that news?
We had the conversation maybe the latter parts of last week as we got into bowl prep, and then had conversations with his parents. And, his reaction was, he is a tremendous competitor. He wanted to play and wants to play, and I knew it was weighing on his mind both ways, and I wanted to take that stress. And I say but we, Curtis Luke and myself and our staff, wanted to take the stress off of him and not put him in a position of having to pick between himself and his future in our football team. As a captain, I know he wanted to play, but again, as a staff, we felt like at this point we needed to do what was in his best interest after he has given so much for us and our football team. Yeah, I think we have over 15 players on our roster that are from the great state of Texas, and obviously it's an emphasis in us recruiting, and so for us to have the exposure, for our players again to be home, and to play such a quality opponent, it's very important for our future growth and what we're trying to build as a program.
I'm just wondering, with the 3-year captains now not playing, just what that week of practice has looked like, with the leadership of them not playing, but what they can provide in other capacities.
Yeah, I mean, football's unforgiving game at times, and injuries occur, and where other things occur, but that's what makes football such a great game, is the ability for other people to step up and lead, and you do have captains, but there's always other leaders on your football team. We have over 26 seniors who are going to compete in their last football game, and it means the world to them to play one more time together and to try to accomplish something that hasn't been done in a long time at Missouri, which is win a bowl game. And so I think just rallying behind those opportunities, letting our leaders like Michael Mayetti, but even Isaiah McGuire and Darius Robinson do a tremendous job. Blaze Aldridge has done a really good job leading. Allie Green, who has been selfless in the past 6 weeks, battling through injury and continuing to play. We're relying on those guys to kind of carry the load for us. Barrett Bannister, Michael Wilson, those guys who have the experience to really carry the load and leadership and make sure our team is prepared and focused. I think really for us, the bye week, we had some changes on our roster and some things happened, but our team really grew together. We've had an enjoyable time practicing. Isaiah did our Mizzou Jacks the other day and provided a tremendous amount of energy in getting our guys ready to practice. Because in order to play and play well, it all starts with your preparation. And our guys understand that, believe that, and Mike and Isaiah have done a really good job of making sure our guys are preparing for such a tough task this weekend.
Cal McAndrew, Columbia, Missouri. Just wondering, how do you balance the want to win, desire to win, with looking out for the future of your student athletes, as is the case with obviously Tyler Bray here?
Yeah, I mean, everybody in this room, whether it's the captains for West Point or our football players or our coaches, we want to win in everything we do. We're competitive by nature, but sometimes you have to save people from themselves and realize that their opportunities and their futures are important for them too. I think if you truly value your team like they're your own son, sometimes you look at things a little bit differently. I tried to sit there, or we tried to sit there and say, what if something went wrong and I had to look myself in the mirror, and I couldn't do that. I just couldn't do that. But I also believe in the players that are going to replace Tyler. Dawson Downing is an outstanding football player and has contributed for 6 years. Our football team chose to come back as a COVID senior, worked his way up from a walk-on to earn a scholarship, and he'll get our start. And we really believe in Elijah Young and Michael Cox and B.J. Harris, and those 4 guys, we feel very good about being able to carry the load. They're not Tyler Bray, but we're not going to ask them to be. We're going to ask them to be the best versions of themselves. We know that Michael Mayetti is going to do a great job up front, making sure the offensive line is leading. We've got some other people, missing, and so we've got some young guys going to have to play at the tight end position. But that's what practice is for, and that's what these opportunities are for, to prove yourself against great competition, which is what we're going to do. So I think to go back and originally answer the question, I think you just have to look at it as what would you do if that, with the amount of love and care that you have for those players. That's what you have to start with, and just leading with the heart. Yeah, I think Coach hit it on the head. There's just a tremendous sense of pride in coming back home and playing in front of your friends and family, and asking your other players on their team for extra tickets, and I think it's a lot of fun, like Coach alluded to, being able to suggest restaurants and places to go and kind of be your, we call them recreational coordinators. They're coordinating the recreational time that these guys have. We had a couple players that wanted to get off the plane and go watch state championship games on Saturday, and so we're able to allow people to do that and really just reintegrate. Being a college athlete is hard, and it's by no means any comparison to what these fine men and women at West Point do, but for them to get a little bit of downtime and be able to be around their home and be around family, I think is very important for them.
Just a follow-up real quick.
What have the last couple days of practice looked like, and where does your quarterback situation stand going into the game?
How come I get all the hard-hitting questions? I thought we've had good energy at practice. We've tried to keep it as normal a game week as we possibly could. Our quarterback competition has been wide open, and I think everybody has done what they can in order to be the quarterback. We're going to start Brady Cook in the game. Brady Cook has had really an outstanding past 2 weeks, whether it was the Saturdays and Sundays that we practiced during the recruiting weekends or the way he's put himself out there to lead. And everybody competed for it, but I think for our football team right now, it's his opportunity to play. And we'll be ready if something else presents itself, but going into the game, Brady will be our starting quarterback. Yeah, we brought our starting center, was named All SEC and an All-American by team vote. No, I'm just kidding, I don't know if it was team vote, but a transfer from Rutgers that we are so excited chose to come to Mizzou, and has really been a rock for us in our football program, an outstanding leader and a fine young man, and can't wait to see what his future becomes. Michael Mayetti. We brought our defensive end, our defensive player of the year, and a guy who's had a tremendous season for us and been Mr. Consistent throughout the year with his leadership, his quality of practice, and his play on the football field. And we look forward to him continuing to lead our program in the future and beyond. An outstanding young man from Tulsa, played his high school football at Tulsa Union, and Isaiah McGuire.
I'll start with